Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Well, welcome back to Frankenstein Control.
Hello, woo!
The random noises that just emitted from Taylor are a good summation of how I always feel this time of year, which is to say, chaotic and terrible.
It's just the inner monologue.
You
gotta let it out sometimes.
It really is. It's like the weird whistling, yodeling sound effect that got reused a lot on old Ren and Stimpy. That's sort of... I don't know, you'd find a bit where it was in, don't look at me like I'm an idiot, you pull up anything from that show.
Because, like, what I'm thinking of is just, like, our theme song.
Yeah.
Because that comes from Ren and Stimpy.
Oh.
Or at least the same set of music that they used.
Then it's probably that.
Okay.
Taylor, introduce us.
Help! It's Frankenstein Control. It's coming right for us. With its host, Taylor Russell. And to my left is Ada Ship.
I made a ship and I've got a baseball bat filled with spikes that I found in a dumpster. I'm going to come for you.
And to the right of me, as always, coming right for you is B-Rye.
I'm B-Rye, and I once bought a baseball bat online because it was just like a cheap aluminum bat, and I was 17, and I was like, cool, a thing to threaten people with, I guess. A thing to help me commit felonious assault.
And that's how Little Slugger was born.
Well, no, I bought
Slugger.
It was something called a fungo bat, which I didn't know what it was because I don't play sports. I've only ever
Funko
used...
bat? Did it have like two tiny beady eyes?
No.
And a square head?
And it was pointless?
I'm only familiar with various sports equipment from using it to assault people. I've never used it for its intended purpose, so I have no idea the rules of any of these games.
I didn't know they had intended purposes.
But evidently a fungo bat is...
you fucking fungo!
It's exactly, that's where that comes from. Fungo comes from, like, it's a kind of light... bat it's not necessarily a kid's bat, but it's like a practice bat for practice swings and for...
So, wiffle ball?
No, it's metal.
Wiffle ball bat?
It's a step up from wiffle ball bat. It's actually metal. It's just very light. And if you hit somebody with it, it would probably...
They got their wiffle ball bat bronzed.
I doubt that it would improve their health, but it wouldn't kill them.
Hitting somebody with a fungo bat will improve their health?
I said, if you hit somebody with a fungo bat, I doubt it would improve their health, but it wouldn't kill them.
Oh, okay. It wouldn't kill them.
The fungo bat of healing. I have blessed it.
It's the fucking Tensega of fungo bat.
Yeah.
That's a good segue into...
If you have a concussion, let me whack you in the head. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Oh, I feel better, actually. Cool, thank you for that.
We've been watching a lot of Inuyasha to get through the dark parts of the year. We've just been doubling down on our comfort show consumption. And just sort of, we've turned our room into sort of a nest of blankets and pillows and pumpas. And we just sit in there with him and watch various shows. Like, we're watching through... Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which Liz has never seen before. She saw the first series way back when, but never Brotherhood. We're watching... She did not watch a lot of Futurama growing up, so we're fixing that now.
Okay.
She's seeing where a lot of like my internal lexicon and catchphrases come from.
That's why you always say that.
Exactly. There have been several moments where she bursts out laughing or says like, "Oh, you know." Like, one of my most common used ones is the "Show them they stink at a game they've never played before." I use that a lot whenever I'm in like an unfair situation in real life, and so we got to watch that episode, and she laughed a lot when that happened, and I enjoy sharing those things with her. And we were watching a lot of King of the Hill too, and there was a joke.
What the hell?
Oh, dang it, Bobby. There was a joke on, like, because, I mean, I watched Futurama and King of the Hill many times over the decades, and I watched them when they first aired. But there's, like, you know, you pick up jokes as you get older that you didn't catch the first time around, or perhaps notice or laugh at, you know. Now that you're older, you catch that stuff. And
right.
There was a joke that it was not particularly... It's not like it's a hidden joke or anything. It was just one that I never really noticed before in an episode of King of the Hill that fucking destroyed me.
What was it?
The other day. And it's from the same episode as Pocket Sand.
Really?
Yeah. So that Pocket Sand bit comes from an episode where... Dale, who is, almost always under or unemployed, but despite branding himself as a bounty hunter and a mercenary and a gun for hire and all this other fantasy shit that he's not, and he was like, they were trying to figure out how they can encourage him to get a regular, like, actual human job. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, maybe if he gets some of this mercenary stuff out of his head, out of his system, let's build his confidence by Hank and the guys basically are like, let's build Dale's confidence by giving him a fake mercenary job with his classified ad in the stupid gun magazine that he's had for decades. No one's ever called him for a job because why the hell would they? And, so they go down to the bus stop and leave, like, a fake, like, empty briefcase. And then Hank calls Dale and he's like, this is Mr. Big. Your job is to go to the bus station, retrieve the metal briefcase from under booth 9 or whatever, Mm-hmm. And, like, Dale being an idiot, all he remembers is briefcase. So he goes in there and sees a bunch of briefcases, which is why he grabs some random guy's briefcase and initiates the scuffle that ends with pocket sand. Yeah. So then he panics and flees with that briefcase and then tries to call Mr. Big back. And, say, like, what's in here? Drugs? What am I currying for you here? And it all, obviously backfires on him, and he goes to Hank and the guys for help afterwards, and he's like, Mr. Big, like, the deal's off, I messed it up, I didn't get the briefcase right. And he's like, Mr. Big's gonna kill me, so I have to kill him before he kills me. And he's like, Dale, trust me, Mr. Big is gonna let this go. And he's like, no, and you're all targets just for being associated with me. And he's like, you're all in danger, don't talk to anybody. And he drives off in his stupid car, and Bill, right before the scene changes, Bill, who has been there for all of this, who is there for all of Hank being Mr. Big on the phone with Dale, Bill runs up to him and with, like, genuine fear in his eyes goes, Mr. Big's gonna kill us.
Oh, Bill.
It was late at night, and it just destroyed me.
Yeah. Mr. Big gonna kill me.
Mr. Big's gonna kill us. By the way, there is a broken statuette of the KoolAid Man in the hall outside of this recording room, and when I was coming up the stairs in the dark, first off, he was upside down, so he was, like, standing on the top part of him, and, like, his feet were projecting in the air, and all I could see was that it was a reddish object, and I thought that Taylor had 3D printed, like, a model of a human heart, and it was just chilling out there for some reason.
I could do that. I don't know why I would do that, but I have the ability.
I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I find weird shit at you guys' place all the time.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Have we explained the story behind the KoolAid Man?
No, I noticed he's broken. What's up with that?
So for one of the thumbnails I was working on, like, long ago, for this very show, I needed a reference for the KoolAid Man. Mm-hmm. So I looked it up, and one of the top results was that Funko Pop figure of the KoolAid Man that looks horrible.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I hate it.
It looks like someone drew the KoolAid Man from memory.
It's a nightmare, and I sent it to Jen, and I'm like, look at this terrible, ugly thing that I hate, and then she bought it.
As she should have.
And that was like a year ago, and, like, since then, she will, like, take it and hide it places where she knows that I'll find it.
That is awesome.
And it's become a game. Like, she would always put it in my lunchbox, like, right before I'm going to work.
That is the kind of top tier shit that I'm sorry I cannot high five her about this exact moment, because that's fucking brilliant.
She put it in the fridge or something.
That's great. Oh,
put it in my bed, in my seat, next to my computer.
One of your boots or something.
Yeah. Put it in my shoe.
Yeah.
Every time I'm just like, God damn it.
Damn you, KoolAid Man!
My mom used to do that with, when I was in high school, we got the, my parents, or my dad, I should say, still gets the, like the Washington Post Sunday edition with all the fucking, like, comics and shit in there. Mm-hmm. And they have, like, a kids post with, like, comics that are obviously for very small children and, like, word searches and shit like that. And my mom used to, like, put that in my lunch in high school just to piss me off. So I'd be like, Mom! God, the guy saw it! God! You know? And she'd be like, hey!
The guy saw my baby comics!
FBM laughed at me even though he was going to do that anyway.
Who's gonna laugh at my baby comment?
Everybody thinks I'm struggling with the junior scramble.
Well, it's really the Jumble Junior that fucks me out.
That's what it is, Jumble Junior.
Oh.
Or maybe it is Junior Scramble. I don't know.
I think it's both, maybe. I don't know.
It's been so long.
I was driving to school in the Scooty Puff Senior, the Doombringer.
Speaking of King of the Hill, we've been watching the Japanese version of that.
The episode where they go to Japan and he has a Junichiro, his half brother.
Yeah, he meets his brother Yusuke Urameshi and he gets hit by a car. And he has to nurse a spirit egg to see if he can come back to life. And one thing leads to another, and then he shoots a big muscly guy with a big propane fist, and the Dark Tournament ends. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened.
I would love things where you could, just if they could get like animated shorts done, where they would take a cast of characters from a show you like and do another show with them. Like have Hank and the guys be fucking Yusuke and Kuwabara.
Dale would be Hiei 1000%, by the way.
Yeah.
God dang it, you're a Meshi, I tell you what.
I like
jackass.
I like Boomhauer as Kurama. It's just
Dang old Rose Whip, man.
yeah, just the combination of the most eloquent character versus the one you cannot understand.
Yeah.
And Bill's Kuwabara. It's perfect.
You gotta use that spirit gun, Hank. I don't know what a spirit energy is, but I'm gonna kick your ass.
You giblet head.
That'd be great. I'd love that would work very well.
Koenma is
It's Bobby.
is Mr. Strickland.
Oh, okay, that'll work too. No, he's Cotton.
Yeah.
Cohen was Cotton.
I feel I should have picked an anime that I'd watched more recently so I could participate in these zingers.
Oh, that's okay. We've just had it on the mind, that old Yugi Hakushugi.
Yeah.
I gotta get in on that. That's you know what, tonight when we get home I'm gonna ask if Lissa wants to watch that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's worth it.
Oh yeah. I've been wanting to rewatch it forever because
Did you ever watch the whole thing?
I watched up to the Dark Tournament. I watched it. Let me put it this way: being 13 at the time, I watched it as regularly as I was able to.
I'm not even sure if Adult Swim.
It wasn't Adult. It was on Toonami.
It was on Adult Swim, and then they had it on Toonami.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember, because I have a censorship story about that. Point is,
do tell.
I'm not sure if they ever actually aired too far past the
Dark Tournament
arc. I know they went a little bit into like the psychics thing, because I had remembered the whole like taboo episode.
Oh yeah.
But I had seen nothing past that until I watched it like 10 years ago on YouTube. Back when that was possible. Watching it each episode in 10-minute increments.
Oh my god.
That's the kind. Lissa was talking about that. Watch it because because we were watching Brotherhood, she watched the first series like a million years ago in high school, and she had to watch it that way in increments on YouTube, like you did.
Yeah.
And of course, we're getting a lot of the Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
The funniest shit I
Full
ever.
Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. I'll tell you.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh God! Now I don't even know where to begin casting that one as King of the Hill.
Brotherhood has like far too many characters.
It does.
That
It
are
really
all
does.
too nuanced to just like.
King of the
All
Hillify.
I know is that Peggy Hill would be Lust and Gluttony would be Bill.
Oh god.
And when I say I don't mean to imply that Peggy Hill is Lust personified. I just mean she'd be that character and would be annoying Peggy Hill as that character.
Oh, you know what? Actually, speaking of FFMA, the dub of Yu Yu Hakusho is a lot of fun to watch because
She told me.
Yeah, a lot of people from Fullmetal Alchemists are in that show,
including Jerry Jewell, who's a
Gerald Jewell, who's a funny Irishman who you can't fucking understand anything he fucking says.
Well said, Taylor.
So
They do that in the show, by the way. Like every time the funny Irish guy talks and is just completely unintelligible, somebody will always come in and be like, "Well said."
Or Yusuke is always like, "Yeah, what he said."
Any dunking on that I could do is overshadowed by the fact that a photo exists somewhere in this world of me standing shirtless next to Jerry Jewell.
That is true. That is a true photo. That is a thing that exists.
And he was a lovely man, and he signed my drawing, my hastily done drawing of Barry the Chopper, and said, "Number 66," and earned my eternal gratitude.
Is that the same day we saw Moot?
No, that was our first. That was like our second to last Otakon. We met Mood on our first Otakon.
Okay.
I wonder what he's up to.
Not running 4chan.
Not running 4chan.
Getting cucked.
Probably.
I know about that.
Poor.
I think that's.
I'm not going to dunk on a guy about that. That's not his fucking fault.
I think that might be what started.
It is.
Like everyone being like, "Oh, you're a cuck. You're a cuck." Is that literally happening to Moot?
I think that is exactly what.
What? Because I had never really heard.
And it's an odd thing to selectively employ as an insult out of nowhere with no
with no references,
with no preamble whatsoever.
Yeah. No resume.
Yeah, no resume.
Your cuck resume.
We're at a point in Yugi Hakushugi right now. I wanted to say this to you and Jen, but I'll just say it here. We're at a point where, like, twice now we've come to a point where, like, how the fuck is this series gonna go on? Yusuke is the strongest being in the universe, and then next arc over, nope, actually you're not, and here's why. And now we've just reached the point where we can no longer have power escalation just be the sole reason why things are interesting. Now we need to go into, like, intrigue and like alliances and crazy shit. I'm like, this is just a D&D game. All of Yu Yu Hakusho is a level 1 to level 20 D&D campaign.
I like that.
That's what's been going on.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You start out firing one spell a day, and then all of a sudden you're level fucking 19 and you're casting, wish and time stop. It's insanity. And so, like, eventually your powers are just going to be too powerful to just be the reason why things are solved. So, like, you need to have some intrigue in there, some things that can't be solved with just a big punch to the face, Yeah. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And that's kind of cool. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. I like it. It's not just the same thing.
Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho is one of those rare animes that they only did back then, like Inuyasha, where it goes on and has a long, enduring story arc beyond the normal, like, 26 episode run that most animes get.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a long form anime, and it's good that they kept it interesting and it doesn't peter out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we said, every arc is incredibly different. Like, what the fuck? Like,
you get to arcs a lot quicker when you're watching the episodes in succession.
I know, it's so nice to not have to wait a fucking week.
Yeah, it's like, this used to take fucking ages.
Yeah.
Like, this used to take forever.
This was years of my life.
Yeah.
Not anymore. You can binge that shit in a week, kids. And that's why, that's why joy is so fleeting nowadays. It's because we don't have it spread out long enough for people to just discuss it week to week. And instead, we just binge everything.
Yeah,
one
like
night
I really hate how with JoJo's Part 6, how they release it all in one. Well, it's not completely done. Like the first chunk, first half, they just release it all at the same time on Netflix. When, like, one of my favorite parts of when, like, JoJo's Part 3 to 5 were just running were JoJo's Fridays, because that's when it aired and that's where all the memes were of the new stuff. So it's just like, I gotta rush to watch the new episode so I can know what the fuck everyone's talking about.
I can be part of the discourse that will last one fucking day.
Exactly.
But it's fun when you're looking forward to those days and you're.
Well, no, that's what I like.
The
longevity of the show.
Yeah.
Is made by the fact that
It came out
It
at a
comes
trickle.
out at a trickle instead of like a huge chunk, and then everyone's blowing up about it for like a week, and then you don't hear anything about
Yeah,
it.
pretty much that. Yeah, like if the whole thing is released all at once, then everybody's gonna watch it as fast as they can because they all want to be part of the discourse. And then they're like, man, that was an entire fucking series that I just deep throated all at fucking once. There's no fucking way my human mind can process all this at once. I'm gonna talk about these 3 points that everyone else is talking about. Then we'll all get bored, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
We sort of artificially create. I mean, it has the added difficulty of making it harder to avoid spoilers or join in discourses if you want to do those things. But Lisa and I have Thursday nights are when my weekend sort of begins.
Oh yeah, because you have a half Friday.
Exactly. So Thursday nights we usually get carry out because we've cooked all the things we've cooked all the meals we got the ingredients to cook for over the weekend, and by Thursday we're usually out of that. So we kick off the weekend by getting carry out and having a night where we just watch something, and we have shows that we'll only watch on a Thursday night, and that way we sort of trickle these shows out and have. We make a thing out of it, basically. It requires you to do the effort of making a thing out of it, when then it used to be just that's when the show was on. But, it's sort of allowed us to space ourselves out with some of these shows and watch them a little bit more slowly and appreciate them more fully.
Yeah.
That's how we did Arcane, although some of these shows, Lissa will absolutely Netflix cheat on me with, where she just, I got bored while you were at work and I watched the entire thing, and I'm like, God damn it! But she's like, I'll rewatch it with you, and I'm like, I know you will, but...
I have a censorship story about you, Hakusho.
Yes, let's hear about that.
So, nowadays, and I guess, like, even way back then, I think I kind of like hit the point where they started censoring smoking in TV
Sanji's
for
lollipop.
younger audiences. Yeah.
Let me show you my lollipop.
Because I remember watching Yu Hakusho on Adult Swim, and during the first, like the Genkai arc, where she's trying to, where Yusuke is like vying to learn the Spirit Wave, she's smoking the whole time. And it's important because there's a fight where they have to fight in the dark. And Yusuke only won because Genkai had like thrown her cigarette butt into the darkness, and he picked it up, put it on his opponent, so he could see where he was.
Right.
So on Adult Swim, all that was intact, and then when they did it on Toonami, they edited around that. Like I think they edited out the fact that Genkai was smoking at all. So then it just made no sense when Yusuke found a cigarette butt or something.
Yeah.
And what really struck me about it is that not too long before that, I remember watching a episode of The Jetsons where George thought that he was dying, so he took on this like really risky project for his boss. It was like an invincibility suit, basically. So he's like, you wear this invincibility suit that we're testing, we're not sure if it works, and be a daredevil the whole time. And he picked up smoking because like, I'm gonna die, might as well have fun with it.
Wow.
And there was no censorship on that. He was smoking the whole time.
Well, it was the 60s. You were allowed to do things back
Yeah,
then.
That's also true.
But still, it was airing.
That's impressive that they
in
still did
the
that.
2000s.
It's impressive that they wouldn't just take that one out of circulation.
Yeah.
Or find some way to, not show that part.
Yeah.
They did edit out the part where George Jetson goes, you know what, now that I'm gonna die, I think I might as well take up smoking these delicious Marlboro Red cigarettes. They really satisfy.
Ladies, pick up a Virginia Slim. It improves your
American
complexion.
Spirits has been serving the country for the past 5 millennia because the Jetsons takes place in the future, you see.
The far off.
I don't know what George Jetson sounds like.
Not like that.
You're close enough. There's some Hanna-Barbera character that sounds like that, so you might as well be right. They're all interchangeable.
That was a little bit of Peter Griffin bleeding into Snagglepuss.
It's W.C. Fields.
I know.
You could put Yogi Bear in the place of George Jetson and no one would notice.
You really...
Hey, boo-boo, get me off this crazy thing, buddy!
Hey, boo-boo, remember when these were impressions of celebrities that were topical when this animation was conceived of originally, and now these are just voice archetypes, and no one remembers that there was actually impressions of people.
They were just actual impressions of people. There wasn't an original bone in Hanna-Barbera's body.
If you ever hear a guy go, cha-cha-cha-cha, that's fucking Jimmy Durante.
Yeah, Jimmy Durante.
Yeah, the guy go, eh. Apparently Yogi Bear's called that because he talks like Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
A baseball player. I was about to say basketball player.
Yogi Berra, the baseball player from back then that didn't get Lou Gehrig's disease.
But he did steal picnic baskets. So there was that.
Picnic baskets prevent Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh!
Sure.
Also, if you don't want to get Lou Gehrig's disease, you should have tried to not be Lou Gehrig.
He really didn't try that hard.
Yeah. What if you were like... What if you're just reading a medical textbook out of sheer boredom, or perhaps the pursuit of knowledge,
I do that
and you find a section detailing the symptoms of a disease that is your name disease, as in the Brian Paris disease.
That'd be horrifying. Well, you know what? I'd be like...
Taylor Russell disease.
Depends on what kind of disease it is.
Things feel so weird and targeted. Like, life feel... Like, the weird, random things that happen to you in life feel targeted all the time because we're, like, predisposed through bias to perceive them that way. So
Right, yeah.
It would just feel like that concept writ large.
Yeah, if we can't find a pattern, we'll create it, that kind of thing.
Like, fuck you, world. You're gonna give me a disease and have it be named after me? Well, fuck you, too. I don't know what else I was expecting.
Now, Taylor, you say, depending on what the disease is, they don't name minor diseases after people.
No, yeah, they just call that pooping cough and some shit like that. Like they don't name a disease after you unless it does something real bad.
Yeah.
Taylor Russell's disease is when your chin turns inside out.
Ugh.
Ugh.
It's pretty bad, right?
Yeah. Does it go up into the roof of your mouth?
I don't know. I'm kind of leaving this up to the theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Because I think anything you imagine when you hear that term is worse than how I could describe it.
What does Brian Paris disease do?
Yeah, what's Brian Paris'
disease? I'm trying to think of what Ada
disease?
Schiff disease does.
Well, first off, I consider B-Rye my real name anyway. Calling me Brian Paris feels like, I'm in school or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Brian Paris.
No, thanks, but no
Roll
thanks.
call.
There was a guy named Bryant Harris.
Oh, no!
And that motherfucker got called to the principal's office all the time. And I think it was probably for, planned stuff. I did not know this kid. I couldn't even I couldn't pick him out of a lineup of Bryant Harris. But all I know was that for whatever reason, he got called to the office a lot. And in my day at my school, if you got called to the office and you weren't expecting it, it meant someone died.
Oh.
And I would always be like, oh, God, Grandpa!
Oh, no.
And I'd run to the office and they'd be like, not you!
What I imagine this kid looks like is, in The Simpsons, there's a couple episodes where there's, these, Bart and Lisa doppelgangers, and they look like these poorly drawn off-model versions of Bart and Lisa.
They are the way they looked in the pilot on the Tracy Ullman Show.
Oh, no.
Is that it? I think
Yes.
they're a little bit different than that.
Really?
Yeah, from what I remember. We'll look it up later.
Yeah, it's my weird, droopy Tracy Ullman Show.
Yeah.
B-Rye.
That's obsessed with frosty chocolate milkshakes.
Let's all go out for frosty chocolate family jewels.
B-Rye's disease.
It makes you look like that. He looks like a Tracy Ullman cartoon.
Your droopy Tracy Ullman Show pilot drawing.
The symptoms are a lot of facial deformities and
Just looks like you got a stroke on both sides.
Yeah, and difficult joint movement or something.
Yeah, and all your hair is droopier than normal.
All right, what's Ada Schiff's disease then?
Something to do with pooping.
It makes you scream and fart a lot.
Also known as...
And the only treatment is scream!
No. So long it's been.
It's been a long time since I creamed.
Been a long time since you done cream. Oh. Well, now we have let it be known, scientists, that if y'all discover diseases that do what has been described today, you are legally bound to name them after us. Mm-hmm. That's right. Fuck you and your years of education leading to a magical discovery. Fuck off. Some idiots on a podcast called this shit.
Yeah.
And when you die of an inside-out chin, you you thank old Taylor Russell and his disease for it.
Yes.
Speaking of diseases, I think I'm gonna go open a big old jar of some of them. I'll be right back, y'all.
That sounds fun. I'm gonna see what he's doing.
You know, I don't really want to be left alone. I'm gonna peer pressure myself and go play with those diseases with them.
Yahoo! Disease!
I forgot about that.
Cream!
Oh god, I look like a Tracy Ullman drawing.
My foreskin!
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.
Taylor Russell's disease causes your foreskin to spread to the rest of your body to form a flying squirrel type membrane that allows you.
My 50-foot long foreskin, Marge.